Hey Gail. Okay, so talk to my aunt, and we're going to recommend that you start several commands training right away, even before you have the trainer work with her. This is stuff you could do as many times a day as you can, at least preferably 3 to 4 sessions a day. The more, the better. So watch and walking watch was the first one. My aunt agrees that that is the most important one. We want to be able to get Freya to focus on you, and whenever you ask for that focus, she focuses on you, so you can redirect her from any sort of stimuli eventually. So that's the first one. Sent you that video already. The second one is leave it. This one, a lot of people just think is for food, like if you put chicken on their paw or something, that's how you start, but that is a command that you transfer to anything, a toy, a person, another dog, a squirrel, you name it. But you start with teaching it with food. Then we're also going to want you to teach a solid down stay. That one's going to be really critical as well. And then stop, which is basically when you're walking and you stop, you have them stop, and then you'll also eventually be able to keep walking and they stop. So those are the 4 commands that we want you to start working on right away. Start with watch first and leave it first as well, because those are the 2 easiest to do. You may already do downstay, but we're going to show you how we train it just in case, so you can have the video for reference. So I'm going to show you how we teach leave it. So make sure that you can see down here. All right. So the first thing we do with leave it, we're going to use our little subject here, Ming. Ming. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the treat in my hand and close my fist. I want them to know the treat is there, so I'm going to show it to them first, then close my fist. And my goal is they're probably going to lick it. We've already worked with Ming on this, so she may not do what Freya will do, but they're going to first lick it, probably for a lot, and you just wait. You tell them leave it, and you just wait. And when they stop licking it, you click and give them a treat from another hand. Never give them this treat, no matter any step in the process, because there's like 3 steps to it. So what I want to do is I want to have 2 treats ready, and you can use a clicker for this as well. So I'm going to keep my treat that I'm actually giving her in this hand along with my clicker. This is the lure, basically. So leave it. Leave it. Good, leave it. The next thing I really want from that too is I would like Ming to look at me, stop looking at it, and look at me. So we're going to see if we can get that out of her before we move to the next step. Leave it. So that's step 1 and 2. So next step is open hand before you do ground. So I could do it like this. Leave it. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Okay, so that's an intermediate step. So next step is you want to put it on the ground, basically. So, and you're going to need to probably push them away from it quite a bit. So leave it. You're going to push, like they're going to be going for it, you just block them basically. And you may have to put it, further away at first, work your way closer. And then when they stop going after it, click and treat. When they look at you, that's perfect. You can give them 1 or more treats from the other hand. So that's how you train leave it. And then eventually you can, if you want to add some distraction, you can just, like drop it, leave it. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. And I take that treat away. So then you can move on to toys. So you can have a toy, drop it, have it in front of them, tell them to leave it. And then eventually, if you do this enough, do it every day for at least a couple weeks, and continue to do it as long as you're fostering her, she will learn that leave it means pretty much everything. It's one of the few commands that dogs actually do generalize if they've got a really good grasp of what leave it means. It means that's something I want. I'm not going to go after it though, because the person who is in charge said that we're going to leave it. But we'll talk further down the line as she gets a better grasp of it, how you can start transferring exercises you can do to make sure that she leaves other things. So downstay, how we teach downstay is going to be a little tricky with Ming because she already has a decent grasp of it. But how do you sit first, then down? I'm just going to go through if you haven't taught her down yet as well. So up. So once we get them into the into the sit position, then remember use the nose. Come here, Ming, so she can see you. Come on. Sit. So use the nose. Got the nose, and then you're going to make an L basically. Go straight down to the ground, then out. And they just walk their paws out. If you have any trouble with that, let me know. So once they're in the down, then I stay down here on the ground with them. Tell them stay, palm up in the face. Then I just wait a few seconds. Eye contact is great. Tell them good stay. This is the biggest key, is the release. Stay has a start and a finish command. So she's not allowed out of the stay for any reason except the release word. Hers is, okay, let's go. So I'm going to get another treat ready because I'm going to treat for that as well because I want her to get up in an excited way, come with me out of the stay. And that is the only thing she's allowed to get up for, no other command word. So, okay, let's go. I like to make it sound happy. You can kind of put the treat and lure them out of the stay. So that's the first thing. That's kind of going to set the foundation. Then sit down. Once they've got down good and not just popping right back up, if they do pop right back up, you can take another treat, lure them back into the down. Once they've got that, then I just work on extending my knees. I'm still down here with her, so they're less likely to get up right away. Then click and treat. Then work your body all the way up. Click and treat. Then you want to just stand up here for a minute. Kind of step 4. Stay here for a minute. Once they get the hang of that, click and treat. Don't try and move too fast with her. Just kind of use your best judgment. I like to do, maybe 20 repetitions each, just to make sure you've got a really solid foundation for each step before you move up. So then once you get to that point, then you just start working on steps away. And once you get to the step away point, a really important aspect is that when I come back to her to treat, a lot of people will go down to them with the treat, and that often encourages the dog to come back up to meet it. And I don't want her breaking the down until she gets the release word. So instead of coming down at her with the treat, I usually come in low like this. Good stay. And then stay down here while I get my, okay, let's go, a release treat. I'm not going to let her out yet. So then once you get to the point where you can get some distance, then add duration. So, 10 steps away plus 10 seconds. Just start slowly building that up in small increments. Then you want to get to the point where I can go and just kind of leave the room and come back and then completely out of their sight just for a few seconds, then come back, then add more time that you're out of their sight. And that's kind of a good solid downstay. You also want to be able to walk around behind them, because when you walk around behind them, they're going to turn their head the other direction. Right then, when she turns her head, that's usually when most dogs get up. And so we like to do it with stepping over. That way, if she was about to get up, I could catch her and tell her, stay. So that's how you train down stay. So, okay, let's go. Good stay, Ming. Good stay. You're helping Freya and getting a training session. Okay, so to teach stop, we haven't worked on this yet, so you'll see the early stage of this command, because she hasn't worked on it at all yet. So basically, all it is we've started the automatic sit with Ming, so she's got a little bit of a foundation, but basically it is just when I stop, you stop, and then eventually when I stop, and then if I tell you to stop, and I want to keep going, you still stay there. Up. Good girl. So the hand signal for this is just palm in the face like that. So I like these multi-use leads where I can just have it right here. She doesn't have a whole lot of space. You can just use a regular lead and tie it, but up, up, up. But I want to be able to have my hands free to treat and give the hand signal. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start walking, stop, and so Ming didn't stop right there. If she did, that's great. I would have rewarded her. What you can do for this is you can give the command with the other hand, or you can do this and that. Either way, whichever you prefer. Usually, most people do it this way because you're holding the leash in this hand anyway. So, come on, Ming, let's go. Ready? Stop. Good, stop. Good, stop. Okay, let's go. Ready? Stop. Good, stop. So all I'm doing is right when I put the hand in front of her, I just put a little bit of pressure on the lead to kind of tell her, here's what I'm asking for. Let's go. Stop. Good. And so that time I put less pressure on the lead, and she stopped on her own, and she's doing an automatic sit, which is good too. If she doesn't, don't worry about that right away, but what you could do is stop, and then just kind of pull your hand up some. That'll usually put them into a sit. Okay, let's go. And this is one of those where you don't want to necessarily use the treat unless she's having trouble stopping and still wants to go. She shouldn't if you start in the house. So if she does, you can use the treat because she'll stop and smell. But if you're doing it in the house and you've already, kind of worked on downstay and watch, and so she has focus, she should have an idea of what that means. Okay, let's go. Stop. Good, stop. Good, stop. Okay, so now we haven't worked on this yet with Ming, but she's going into an automatic sit, which is good. So we could start working our way up with her. I'm only going to do it once because I don't want to really get to this phase with her yet on this. I want to get a good stop with no tension on the lead before I move to this phase, and you should too. So, okay, let's go. Stop. Good, stop. I'm going to give her the hand signal again just to let her know that's what I want. Good, stop. So kind of the same thing with stay. I just kind of let go of the leash, go a little bit forward, and then I come back to her. Same thing with stop. You're going to want to add the release word. So Ming got up because I was talking to the camera, but if I give her the stop, go a few steps forward, then come back, treat, and then release. Okay, let's go, and then treat again. So those are the 4 commands that we really want you to work on as much as humanly possible, because the main thing, it sounds like, with Freya is that she is, well, I'll put all of this kind of a summary in an email for you, but she is a conflicted, insecure dog right now, and so she needs to know that someone else is in charge and form a really strong bond in a way that she sees you as kind of a leader, a purveyor of really good things, someone who tells her what to do and she understands a lot of different commands, that sort of stuff. So these will help lay the groundwork for that, the watch being the most important thing, because that is, no matter what's going on, you focus on me. And that alone is going to make her think that you're in charge, because in control of situations, because you're saying, don't worry about that, focus on me. And in a sense, you're saying, this isn't a scary situation, watch me, I'm not scared, you shouldn't be either.